The college football playoff is closing in on a national champion. Today, one team punches its ticket to the CFP semifinals. The 2025 Orange Bowl is set for kickoff, and ESPN West Palm is live from Hard Rock Stadium in sunny South Florida. This is the ESPN West Palm Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show.
The Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. January the 1st, 2026. Starting off our new year with a kick. We got the Capital One Orange Bowl. We got Texas Tech taking on Oregon. 12-1 versus 12-1. The winners of the Big 12 taking on one of the semifinalists, top teams in the Big 10. Big 10, not a good start in the college football playoff after Ohio State stunned by Miami last night, 24-14. We got some U fans here. Surprising enough, we got U fans here for Texas Tech and Oregon, even though we're at Hard Rock Stadium down here in Miami. Welcome in on everybody. We got ESPN South Florida app. You can tune into this live, and you can also watch it live on ESPN South Florida on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X, all those great places. I'm joined alongside me is Christian Katt, of course, and Colin Russo here. We got you for the next 2 hours up until kickoff, and then you got some college football action, a triple header today for the college football playoff. One of the three quarterfinal games are away and through, and we got three more today, starting off with the Capital One Orange Bowl in 2026. Christian, welcome in. Happy New Year. What's going on?
Dude, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing after the game we saw last night on ESPN where the Miami Hurricanes just picked up their sword and fought for the rest of America right there. No one likes Ohio State.
Nobody likes Ohio State.
No one likes Ohio State unless you are Ohio State. So it was fantastic to watch, right? Screw Ohio State. They're the worst. They got the worst fans, the worst people. I love Texas Tech, and I like Oregon.
So the thing about it, a lot of Texas Tech fans with us. I think the good news is every fan here should be happy because Ohio State was the favorite. Maybe you don't think Ohio State's any good, fine. But the fact is Miami took them down. And now this all turns into open season. So now we have to figure out who the new favorite is. We got to figure out who's going to really take that new throne. We know there's not going to be a repeat champion this year. And we know that this college football playoff is as open as any, despite Indiana being undefeated to this point. They have the Rose Bowl at 4 o'clock against the mighty Alabama. Ooh. And then it finishes off with the night game with Georgia and Ole Miss in Louisiana at the Sugar Bowl. So we got all that action today. And with Miami specifically, that was a game that Ohio State never led. And 14-0 before you could blink. Carson Beck played a very capable football game. A touchdown drive to close things out, get it out of reach. They went 70 yards in about 7 minutes to close things out. And Ohio State really never stood a chance outside of maybe two drives there in the second half. Julian Sayin had a pick six on the third drive of the game that really kind of stamped Miami's foothold into this game. And Ohio State, despite having a pretty good two drives in the second half, really looked flustered and looked battered and honestly got completely manhandled up front. That was the big takeaway of the game.
Oh, my gosh.
Offensive line, defensive line of the Miami Hurricanes completely and utterly dominated the mighty Ohio State Buckeyes.
If you want to have fun as a football fan, just watch Ruben Bain come off that left edge every single play because he beat the right tackle every single play with the same move, just quicker, stronger, faster, getting Julian Sayin, and if he didn't, Akeem Mesidor got there as well. That defensive line of Miami was a problem. They set the tone early, did not let the quarterback for Ohio State, Julian Sayin, breathe all night long, and it was a joy to watch. It really was fun to see normally the bully in the situation, which is Ohio State, get flat out out-physicaled and bullied on a national stage.
And you could point to a couple things as to what went wrong with Ohio State. You go to the fact that the offensive line is definitely the worst part of that team, and you definitely felt it. Miami took a look at what Indiana did to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, where their defensive line dominated Ohio State up front, and Ohio State really was never comfortable offensively because of that. You could look at that situation. Miami basically took that same playbook and thought, hey, we're just going to make Julian Sayin and company very, very uncomfortable throughout the game, and that will allow us to kind of put our approval into this kind of win column mark. But You saw that, and you also saw that Ryan Day took over play calling duties for the first time in 2 years. It used to be Chip Kelly, and then it went to Brian Hartline, who was the offensive coordinator throughout the year and still was last night. But he actually took the job right across the street over at University of South Florida, replacing Alex Golesh, who took the Auburn job. So, no Hartline calling the plays. Ryan Day decides to call the plays. And they talked about it on the broadcast a number of times, saying, well, Ryan Day, you're learning how to manage a game, but you also still have to call the plays. Offensive play calling wasn't the major issue in the game. It was really being out-physicaled at the front line, defensively and offensively in the lines. But it's just a couple things you could point at in terms of where Ohio State just wasn't comfortable. They weren't I wouldn't say they weren't themselves, but Miami got them out of their game plan. And they lost 2 straight games. And the last thing I'll say here, actually I want to touch on a little bit, is the bye teams in the 12-team expanded college football playoff are 0-5. There's Boise State. It's Georgia, lost to Notre Dame. I mean, that's Oregon, who played last year against Ohio State, who lost that game after the bye. And that's Boise State, who maybe shouldn't have been there, but still lost after their bye week game. And then you have last night where the number one, or in a lot of ways, the favorite in the college football playoff, Ohio State, lost after having their bye. I think there's anything wrong with the fact that these teams are getting byes. Texas Tech has one today at the Capital One Orange Bowl.
Yeah, you kind of heard Dan Lanning talk about how it's backwards a little bit and how these teams that have higher seeds might be putting at disadvantageous positions by having the rest versus rust debate. I do think that we only have 3 true examples of that because I don't want to give the Boise State situation. I don't think that's a fair apples to apples. Arizona State, not a fair apples-to-apples comparison. Boise State, not a fair apples-to-apples comparison. The Georgia-Notre Dame game, I think, is definitely fair in that situation, and last night was definitely fair as well, where you're right. Ohio State came out flat. They got punched in the mouth, and they laid down.
Flat.
They got out-executed and out-physicaled early, and, of course, that did come to crow in the fourth quarter as well, but when you put yourself down 14-0, it's pretty difficult to beat a top 12 team in the nation.
I think it's a great thing that Ohio State lost. I think it's awesome now that the returning, in a lot of ways, favorite, reigning national champion, trying to go for 2 in a row, is out of the mix. Now you're going to see a new champion this year. I love that. But I do have to look at that bye. At the bye. This is going to be my theme for today, is I'm going to watch these 3 games that we have throughout the day and wonder, is Texas Tech going to come out flat? Is Indiana going to come out flat? And is Georgia going to come out flat? Because you got 3 teams that have come in here playing a football game. Oregon might have played against James Madison, which in a lot of ways is a bye week. But you wonder if Texas Tech will have take them a half of a quarter, take them a couple drives to really get their footing going because they haven't played in a month. Now, is that a positive? Is that a negative? Rest versus rust. I like that saying. I think there's some merit to that. It just goes to show that I think maybe these games should be played a week apart instead of 12 days apart. And maybe we should have expedited the process in terms of the calendar. But going back to Miami, Carson Beck, in my eyes, after the Texas A&M game when they won at College Station, I felt Miami played that game trying to protect him. And in the way that, all right, we're not going to let Beck lose us this game because he lost him the SMU game by throwing an interception basically in the end zone in overtime, and he lost in the Louisville game by having 4 interceptions in the game, 2 in the fourth quarter. I thought they called that Texas A&M game with the thought process of we are not going to let Carson Beck lose us this football game. Then you get into the game yesterday where up 17-14, you get a crucial stop on Ohio State with about 7 minutes to play. And what does Miami do? They don't just get a couple first downs to try to ice the game. They go right down the field and score in 10 plays. And that was the type of situation. I know they ran the ball a lot, and the rushing attack has been the focal point of the offense, but Carson Beck made plays too. And he made plays with his legs, and he was pretty much fearless throughout the game. We are inching closer to a Carson Beck-Georgia reunion, potentially in the semifinal. But number 2 is I came away very, very impressed with Carson Beck, and I am not a Carson Beck fan.
Yeah, I was texting with our station's #1 Miami Hurricanes fan, Theo Dorsey, throughout this game. And he's also maybe the #1 Carson Beck critic in terms of Miami Hurricane fans. And he was doomsdaying it a bit. He was saying, here comes the Carson Beck interception.
You're waiting for it.
Yeah,
You're
you were
waiting
for it after Ohio State scored their first touchdown and were down 14-7.
Yeah, they
He
get down
was
to get a
just
field goal.
anticipating that patented, if you are a Georgia Bulldogs fan, Carson Beck back-breaking interception, and it never came. And as a matter of fact, like you mentioned, running the football, it just showed a little bit of guts, and it showed veteran leadership. It showed instinct. It showed big guy who's been there before when he had 3rd and 11 and Russia put his nose down and broke through 2 guys on an Ohio State defense that's setting records to get a first down.
And very curious to see who Miami draws essentially in the next round between Georgia and Ole Miss. They'll be watching that game closely because it's 2 basically polar opposite of teams. And we're going to get into the Orange Bowl because we got you for 2 hours today in between Oregon and Texas Tech. Some of our preview of the game, who do we think was our picks for the game. We got a lot of Texas Tech fans in front of us. Seems like Texas Tech has traveled well. 2 down to Miami, Florida on New Year's Day for the early slated game because it's not easy to get up on New Year's Day, 8, 9 in the morning and head on over to Fan Fest where we're sitting right now outside of Hard Rock Stadium having a great time. So, I mean, I credit the fan for that, for showing up on a New Year's Day like this, first day of 2026. But also there's a lot to be excited about if you are a South Florida football fan because you get the Miami Hurricanes who are now knocking on the door. Winning that Texas A&M game, at least to me, and I'm a Miami, I have a layer of cynicism attached to how I view the Hurricanes. But after that Texas A&M game, I thought, all right, well, this was the perfect season for them. They won a game. That was sort of where you wanted to be. I didn't anticipate them playing well or beating Ohio State. And going in, you could have made an argument that, hey, Miami got out. They got into the playoff in an at-large bid. They didn't need to get to the ACC championship to do so. All things have went well. They've sort of turned around the program in a lot of ways. Cristobal's done a great job. You can walk away from this season with your head held high thinking massive success. Now, after yesterday, plans change. This is now a national title contending team, and this is now a team that is going to be looking to get to the final dance and close this out because they have a defense that's good enough to do so.
It's funny because that change in terms of expectations, judging of whether or not this is a successful season or not, changed at halftime of last night's game.
First quarter, 14-0.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you blow a 14-0 lead in a college football playoff quarterfinal game, I don't care how good the opponent is, you're going to view the season as a failure. Even if the measured expectations, we talked about it on Russo and Rizzo on Tuesday or on a Monday about how this feels like already a season of success for Miami. Now you're exactly right. The road is being paid for you. You did a lot of the hard work early, taking down at one point the number 1 team in the SEC in Texas A&M, taking down the defending national champion Ohio State. And now the path is cleared a little bit for you. Yeah, you're kind of expecting to win these games. And we're talking about Miami now, but we are joined by the latter half of that equation. Of course, Colin, you are co-host of Russo and Rizzo, which normally airs from 4 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 106.3 on the ESPN South Florida app on YouTube at ESPN South Florida. Your co-host, Mike Rizzo, proud Ohioan, proud Ohio State Buckeye, who is being very generous with his time. He's joining us on his time off to...
Is he with us now?
He's with us now. He's joining us remotely from parts unknown. Mike, are you in better spirits than you were last night?
Yeah. What's up, Mike?
Boys, first off, happy holidays, mates. Miss you guys tremendously. Christian's on the naughty list after acting like a complete fool in our group text last night. Listen, these things happen. I'm devastated. I thought the team was good enough to win a national championship. But when you put yourself behind the 8 ball in this tournament, happened to Oregon last year, happened to multiple teams who had the bye last year. When you put yourself behind the 8 ball and go down 2 scores, you're dead. You're dead in the water. And I give the Buckeyes a lot of credit.
don't.
And they didn't. And for some reason, when you throw it to him, it's like a 15-yard completion, I think, every single time. And when you throw it to Cardell Tate, it's an incompletion. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But one thing we were talking about, Christian and I,
Draft
before you jumped in here, was going into that game, I actually thought the success of the Miami season was good enough. I thought they could have left that yesterday's game, even with the loss, and said, hey, Miami won a game in the playoff. They won a road game in the playoff. They got there as an at-large. They have the respect of the national attention. Jeremiah Smith was talked about it in media availability before the Orange Bowl, saying, hey, if I knew Miami was going to be like this, I probably would have went to Miami, being a South Florida man himself, going to Chaminade. So all of that, I think, was enough to garner a success of the season. Now, after last night, things changed. Now it's about national title aspirations. I was not on that team until I saw yesterday. And now it's all about, can you win the last 2 games of the season and get a national championship back to Miami?
What's clear is Miami has multiple professional football players on both sides of their line, on offense and defense.
Right.
What's clear is they won't be, frazzled by an SEC opponent like Ole Miss or Georgia in the place in which it matters most, right? Like they showed you at Texas A&M, they showed you last night against Ohio State, that where it matters most, where football games are won and lost in the trenches at the line of scrimmage, Miami isn't only like at a stalemate, they actually have the advantage. The question is going to come down to Carson Beck. Can he exercise those demons? Can he get over the hump? Can he beat out a guy like Kirby Smart who knows him in and out? That's my only fear with Miami, but you're right. Last night cemented what was already a successful season for Miami. It just feels like as they continue to win, as always what happens with success, like the more you win, the more the bar is raised. So now there are expectations on bringing a national championship trophy back to Coral Gables and doing it right here.
Yeah.
And doing it right here at your home stadium. It's got to happen.
I think there is also a macro ramification of this result, and it is the College Football Playoff Committee truly committing to relying on best wins versus worst losses. Because we saw the playbook, Theo. We saw Miami look good against their most dominant opponent in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So we had a reason to believe that Miami would be able to hold their own against teams that are ranked inside the top 12 in the country. And what did they do? Beat, at one point, the best team in the SEC and Texas A&M in their own building, and then beat the defending champion.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a ripple effect. I think bad losses are going to be just boxes checked, as in, all right, you get 3 strikes.
Yeah.
And maybe that number is going to rise when you rise the amount of teams that are in the playoff. People are going to look at your resume, and your resume is going to be who you beat, how you beat them.
I think so, and I think that is what should matter most. And you're right, that ripple effect, it should prove, because even after the decision was made, and most sane people believed that Miami over Notre Dame was the right decision, there were still some naysayers. There were still some people that were thinking, what if Notre Dame was in? I don't think Notre Dame wins at Texas A&M.
Even after just winning both their first-round games at Alabama and Miami, I think that vindicated all that.
It should have, but the noise is really silent now. Like, there's nothing you can hear. Not a squawk can be heard from South Bend going forward, because Miami has proved it on the field game in and game out. And the 2 bad losses, quote-unquote, that people keep talking about were 2 9-win ACC teams in SMU and Louisville, who, by the way, those teams are so bad, why does everybody want their head coaches then? Like Jeff Brom and my guy, what's his name? Brett Lashley from SMU.
Former Miami guy, too.
Former Miami OC. They're very highly coveted coaches out of nowhere. Those are winning programs in the ACC. SMU was in the conference championship last year. Like, if it wasn't ACC, if it was SEC, Miami would probably be a top 4, top 5 seed in this thing. I get it. Competition is perceived as less, but those are 2 good programs Miami lost to. and Miami proved that they could play with the best last night.
We got Rizzo back. Rizzo's back in the fold. He's joining us. Unfortunately, technical difficulties robbed us of the rest of our conversation with the, for every big win, there's also a big loss, and it's going to Mike Rizzo, who wasn't happy with me talking to him about the game via text. He couldn't. I'm going to read it verbatim because there's nothing vulgar, there's nothing offensive, there's nothing that he should be mad about with made him remove himself from the group chat of which we coordinate our radio programming. Mike, why were you so angry last night at me in particular?
Well, Christian, it just seems every time, a big game like this happens, you're the first to, be the biggest troll possible when things go sour for Ohio State. And listen, you said it in the beginning of the show, and the Don of ESPN West Palm says it too. No one cares about Ohio State. I understand that. But sadly, it's one of my alma maters, and I love the team more than anything. I didn't want to deal with the waffle down 14-0. And then you had the audacity to add me back to the chat with arguably the biggest troll text I received of the night, to the point where I gave you a scolding. Theo, first off, brother, congratulations, mate. Geez, go win the whole thing. That offensive line is legit. That D-line is legit. And if you get that version of Carson Beck, I think he could beat anybody in the country. And I think a great matchup.
So as well.
Every word out of this man's mouth is to make Ohio State look a little bit better.
That's it.
Every single since the dawn of time, every statement is to, in some way, shape, or form, make Ohio State elevate more than they were before.
If Miami goes to the next game and loses by 27 to Georgia, Rizzo will be devastated.
Yeah.
Because it
makes
Ohio State look worse.
Colin, to be fair, and even Theo, you guys know this, all three of you, I've been banging the Miami drum all year. I said they're the only team that deserves to be out of the ACC. They had 2 losses. I was coming to their defense. They're the only team that can compete with the talent level of Ohio State. These are things that have came out of my mouth all year long. And you won the game at the line of scrimmage. And if you win that game in and game out in this tournament, you're going to beat anybody. Now, a couple of things
and then
quickly.
a different thing went into the mouth.
I'm curious.
BDB, Carson Beck, just right down your throat on 3rd and 11. Doesn't matter if it's 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Historic defense guarding that line to gain. It's Carson Beck in your mouth.
Yeah, Mike, what about that historic defense of yours giving up 70-yard touchdown drive to go down 24-14 last drive of the game? Why don't you tell me about that?
Yes, they were on the field the whole game, on the field the whole first half, and the offense did them no favors until about 10 minutes to go in the game. And listen, that's Miami and Cristobal's MO. They're going to punch you in the mouth up front. You heard him say multiple times on the broadcast, they're throwing rocks. Listen, they bought into it. They played a great game. And when you go down 14-0 and set yourself behind the 8 ball in this tournament, you're dead. You're dead. And the fact of the matter is, you guys, sit here and troll me all you want. Buckeyes had a chance to win the game with 6 minutes left, and Jules throws it 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 20. Dead in the water there.
He was frightened.
He was dead in the water there. So he's young. He's a freshman, Theo, and he's going to get better.
He's a freshman in the true sense of the word. He's been in college for 3 years.
First year starting and made it to New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. So, guys, this stuff happens.
Mike, are you going to be willing to still be pro and root for Jeremiah Smith when he's wearing a Canes jersey next year?
That's not happening. So, we can sit here
not rooting
and
for him,
speculate.
You're not going to root for him
Yeah,
when he's in Miami?
Your golden boy, Brian Hartline's over in Tampa, South Florida.
He's going to be a Buckeye, and we're going to have a great chance at winning a national title again next year.
Did you hear what he said at the podium before the game? He said, if Miami was winning in the way in which they're doing now, I would have went. Well, Miami is winning, and they did it in spite of your Buckeyes, and Jeremiah Smith is looking over at the other sideline. He's getting a little jealous.
Listen,
it's got to be difficult to transfer, right? Like, he's got to wait out a year, 2 years, or can he just go there next year?
It's hysterical to me because, Christian, all three of you play the narrative of, Ohio State fans are obnoxious. I'm nothing but. Guys, I've never thrown the Buckeyes in your face in a malicious manner my entire time being down here in West Palm. Theo, you haven't won anything, brother. Theo, you haven't. Here's the thing. Theo, let's win a national championship before you're telling Jeremiah Smith it's a better place to be. Okay? Kid won a title as a freshman last year. Got to the Big Ten title this year and the quarterfinal this year and played great in all those games. Why would he transfer? He's got a ring. He's got to win more. Colin, did Miami win a championship yet?
He's got to fly his family up to Cleveland and drive to Columbus to go to the game.
His heart is in South Florida, brother.
I'm trying to, be a good sport here. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, Miami hasn't won anything yet. Like, Theo, you're sitting here.
They just won the Cotton Bowl.
Oh my God! You raised your trophy last night.
Yeah,
the trophy you won is the gold one.
Were you going to ask me if I wanted a trophy?
Not last year.
What'd you say?
Ohio State raised that trophy last year, and we raised the gold one last year. You're going to say that Jeremiah Smith is going to leave for Miami?
He is.
For what? For what? You haven't won anything yet.
Do you know where he's from?
Yet.
Do you know how much more enjoyment you get from? Hey, Mike. Remember when LeBron came home?
Wow.
Oh, stop.
That's not a bad shot.
Hey,
that's not a bad shot.
And you know what?
You guys are reaching. It's all right.
What's the most important championship of LeBron James' career?
It's a 16 championship.
All right.
But you can.
Jeremiah Smith will feel the same way. It's not uncomparable. Jeremiah Smith will feel the same way coming back to the crib and winning one from Miami.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Katt, Theo Dorsey.
Mike,
last thing here. Are the Miami Hurricanes your favorite in the college football playoff to this point, or is something changed?
Not anymore. Not anymore. After hearing Theo,
Why?
Not anymore.
I talked you off of him.
Because, dude, Miami, like, it's so funny. Miami fans now act like that they've been here for 20 years. You finally won your big game, and this is how you act? I come on here tipping my cap. Great game, Chris Ball. I've been banging the Miami drum all year, and you act like a fool. And you're acting like a fool. You're acting like a fool.
I was showing love.
Yeah, you're acting like a fool. Act like you've been there.
Hey, I'm still hurt from 2003 because you stole a championship away from Miami. I don't give a damn how long it's been. That still hurts. Hey, what do you mean act like I've been there? We haven't. It's been a long time. I was a kid last time we were here, so I'm going to pound my chest and enjoy this moment a little bit.
It's okay. It's all right. I hope to talk to great Miami fans like JMP and Dr. Al over at Mentally Medical.
Oh, I'm a bad Miami fan now?
Yeah, you are. You are. You're not winning with humility because you're not winning with humility here. Act like you've been here before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Act like you've been here before. My God, I come on here on a day off, and I gotta listen to the waffle.
Oh, now Mike's in a tough spot. Right? My bad, Mike.
Give me a break.
Right.
Give me a break.
I appreciate you joining on your day off. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how bad. Hey, Steve.
We have someone who
can change
this,
come here.
actually.
Uncle Steve is here. Uncle Steve.
Packed house. So Steve Palazzino, who it's hard to miss him because he's wearing his big Orange Bowl jacket, which means he's on the Orange Bowl committee here. He's the Good Karma Breads president, Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. He's about 100 other titles, including the Orange Bowl committee, which he wears this jacket to the grocery store if he has the opportunity to. Steve, welcome in. Happy Orange Bowl Day. I know this is a huge day for you.
Happy New Year. Happy Orange Bowl, guys.
Before you get to anything, can Mike get his day off back for a period?
I already was walking away as soon as I heard about that.
Mike,
also,
you said it with a crowd.
Rizzo with the classic, but last year Rizzo, nobody leverages more. Like then, what happened? Somehow the Michigan thing he thinks should validate Ohio State's tattoos. It's unbelievable the way Rizzo does. But Riz, I do give you credit. You get up on New Year's. Apparently, it's your day off, and you show your face after a just brutal loss.
Yeah, that's love.
We'll be okay.
That's love.
We'll be okay. 20 winning seasons. It's 0-2, 3 national championships, top 5 recruiting class. We're all good. I hope Miami can do it for 2 years in a row, let alone 20.
It's all about next year.
Yeah, look, last year was an unbelievable run for Ohio State, like an epic, unbelievable run.
Less than 12 months ago.
They won't be like a dynasty. They're not an all-time.
It
was a unbelievable singular
I would fire
season.
the coach.
Kind of like Auburn. Kind of like Auburn. Remember when Auburn got that championship with Cam Newton?
I would fire the coach.
Yeah. Great. It was a great 1 year.
And the funny part is, you let his replacement go to USF and take the head coaching job.
Oh my God! You lose Hartline and Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Day in the same season.
I said Day should have retired after the championship game last year, or at least left college football, because it will never get better than that moment.
Mike, your thoughts?
You guys are reaching. It's okay. When you're Ohio State, you're the best program in the country. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do to throw rocks at the best.
Best program in the country doesn't go the entire
program in the
without
country.
leading.
He's talking about their masters. They've got a really good MBA at Ohio State.
See this hat? Hang on. Who's on the stream? You see this hat? Okay. Got it. I got one from 14, and I got one from 02. Oh, and by the way, Miami fan, if you're listening there, 02, we won the game in regulation, and they screwed us. It should have never even came to that bogus pass interference call.
Okay.
But you
Just
do admit
saying.
the pass interference call was bogus.
Doesn't matter. Well, it's a makeup call because you shouldn't have went to overtime.
Okay.
You
Thank
shouldn't
you.
have went to overtime.
Good.
Thank you,
Good.
Rizzo.
Good.
At least we got it on record.
24-year ago
Uncle Steve, I
revisionist
came on
history.
here.
Now.
I came on here to give Theo his credit, cheer for Miami, and then it turns into, Theo not knowing how to win and not knowing how to act and getting me
I
all
don't know how
fired
to
up.
win
Fair
or act.
play. Fair play.
Am I acting
No, you
incorrectly
don't.
here?
You don't. You don't.
I don't know how to.
You don't.
Teach me how to win.
You wouldn't last a minute from 2 to 4 on ESPN West Palm. You would not last
You
a
don't.
minute. We handle you with kid gloves every single day on the air.
And that's
You
Penn
removed
State
yourself
fan.
from a show
And that's-
group chat because I said we've got some good football to watch tomorrow and next week together. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
No, it was
Come on.
you.
You left the chat
It was
twice.
you acting
I
like
heard,
a fool,
I heard.
and you know it.
Yeah.
It was you acting like a fool because you're a Penn State fan, and that's what you got to do. You got to troll because your team's irrelevant.
He's letting it out on us.
Wait a second. I seem to remember standing in this spot last year in the Final Four of the college football playoff that you bought tickets to because you thought Ohio State was going to moonwalk their way into an Orange Bowl where you had front row seats and were able to watch your team in your city, but Ohio State couldn't make it here. And just like this year, they couldn't make it past this spot.
They didn't make it here,
Okay.
Christian. You're
Yeah.
100%
Well,
right.
Christian, what happened in the regular season at Happy Valley? And
He's like,
what
"You heard?"
happened? Surely Penn State went to the national championship game last year, right? Surely they won that game last year and went to the national championship.
All right, Riz.
Steve, see.
I'm saying goodbye. I think Guardians spring training starts in a couple of weeks.
Yes, get on that. All right, we do have to go. We do have to roll, but I do want to tell y'all, as hot as Mike Rizzo just got, as heated as he just got, the reason why I stay so cool in the moments like these is because of EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDSisyes.com. That is the website to go to make sure that your air conditioning is on point. Right now, they're running a special for you. If you're overheating, if your house is getting a little too toasty, too warm for your own good, tap in with EDS. Make sure your air conditioning unit is up to date. They're trained comfort specialists. It is hard to stop a train. And I'll tell you right now, 60 months, no interest financing being offered to qualified customers. The only way to know if you're in the good, EDSisyes.com. Tap in with the good people. I'm a Gold Plan member. That gives me 2 check-ins every single year. EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, they are literally now in their 20th year of servicing this area. Yes, it's a 20-year anniversary of EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. They'll take care of you like they took care of me. EDSisyes.com.
That's Theo Dorsey, Christian Katt, Colin Russo, live here at FanFest from the Capital One Orange Bowl outside of Hard Rock Stadium on New Year's Day. Happy New Year, everybody. January 1st, 2026. Miami moving on to the next round. We'll get into the next segment. We'll talk about a little bit about who's the new favorite now that Ohio State, the mighty Ohio State, have fallen. It's the Capital One Orange Bowl special right here on ESPN West Palm.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest innovations to create a treatment plan personalized for you, no matter who you are. Our team of orthopedic and sports medicine specialists have the expertise to help you get back out there performing at your best. And with top-notch recovery and physical therapy, you'll be back in the game and living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Long ago, the seas be whispering tales of the lost loot. A treasure so rare it shows itself but once each turn of the sun. All this searching, and I found it. Publix, this be where X marks the spot?
Discounted tickets, limited time.
South Florida Fair discount tickets are on sale now at Publix and online at southfloridafair.com. Advance tickets can save you more than half, so get them before they vanish on January 15th.
Limited time deal.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
It's Tina. You know how important it is to keep your car running. And when it comes to my car, I only trust St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been taking care of South Florida for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. Need new tires? They've got all the big brands. Battery issues? They've got it. Cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 roadside emergency service is a total lifesaver. Go see my friends at St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. They'll keep you going.
Safebound Moving and Storage is growing. We're looking for new movers and drivers who lead by example, show up ready, and take pride in their work. If you're dependable, willing to learn, and thrive in a fast-paced environment, you'll fit right in. This isn't just a job, it's a career. Do you have what it takes? If so, visit safeboundmoving.com to apply today. safeboundmoving.com.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Hey Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
The college football playoff is closing in on a national champion. Today, one team punches its ticket to the CFP semifinals. The 2025 Orange Bowl is set for kickoff, and ESPN West Palm is live from Hard Rock Stadium in sunny South Florida. Let's get back to the ESPN West Palm Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show.
The ESPN West Palm Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show live here at FanFest outside of Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. The first of a three-game tripleheader we have today on the first day of the new year, January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Russo here. We got Theo Dorsey alongside me with Christian Katt. On site, Texas Tech, Oregon, kicking things off at 12 o'clock. Miami really got the bell ringing last night with an upset win. 9.5-point underdogs against Ohio State last night in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And now one team has moved on, and now you got three more that are going to have to kind of make their stamp their foot of approval into the next round. And also, one thing I wanted to get Theo's thoughts on, too. Teams with a bye in the college football playoff are now 0-5.
Yeah.
0-5. Christian called it 0-3 because Boise State, Arizona State only got it because of their conference championship berth in last year's rules, which they then changed.
And they were underdogs in those games.
They were underdogs in those
Severely.
games. Right. So outside of that, we're basically, I can agree with that. We're 0-3 in these spots. That is going to be what I look for today, is how is Texas Tech going to start, how is Indiana going to start, and how is Georgia going to start, having not played all of them in just about a month. I think it's too much time off for a college football team to be waiting. I know bowl season was sort of like that, but I wanted to ask you, do you think there's anything to that? Do you think there's anything to taking that much time off?
There is, and I think a lot of it is because we forget how much, as human beings, as athletes, your routine, your habitual. So when you're knocked off of that habit, and that's why I think it's more the onus goes on the coaches to keep them in a rhythm, because when you're knocked off of that habit and you're not in the flow and another team is fresh off of a win, they still get an adequate amount of rest, right? They still get a full week's of rest.
You get like 10 days. You get 11 days.
So it's not like they're at a disadvantage for playing an early game. I do think that there's a bit of rust that could play into that. But I also would say this. In the games that we're talking about this year with Ohio State, Miami, I don't think it would have mattered. I think Miami wins that game no matter what.
Sure, but Ohio State came out flat. You got to admit that. They were flat.
They came out flat, but Miami came out punching them in the mouth.
Totally.
I don't think they expected that.
Two things can be true.
They couldn't block Ruben Bain or Akeem Mesidor, and it never changed.
I agree with you, but, I mean, it was a clear as day that Ohio State clearly wasn't ready to play. I'm not saying that's the only reason they won.
Right.
But they got punched in the mouth because they were flat and they hadn't played them Monday. I think that does make a difference.
And I do think it helped Miami's bravado and their confidence in themselves to go and win that game in College Station, the way in which they won it as well. So
it's momentum.
the momentum matters. The belief that it instills in players does matter. So, yes, I do think there's a slight disadvantage to it, but you're already at an advantage because, number one, Miami could have lost players in that opening round game. I know people were talking about specifically for Oregon that the JMU warm-up would be good for them. It could be horrendous for them. What if you lose Dante Moore in that game, right? Like, I still would prefer the bye. That's what I'm saying. You're one hit away at all times. Think about Florida State didn't make the 4-team playoff that year because Jordan Travis went out against, like, Alcorn State. It wasn't like they needed him in that moment in that game. It was a meaningless game at the back end of the season.
I'll agree with you if the bye teams go 2-1 today. If they go anything less than that, 2-1 or better.
This is a close game.
No, I agree. But if the bye teams go 1-2 today, there's something to it.
I don't think so. I think that there's not correlation there.
Alabama and Texas Tech could easily win these.
Well,
two
Texas
games.
Tech has it'd be Oregon winning the game.
Or Oregon and Texas Tech. Like that would not be shocking.
You got some Raider fans.
I don't think that would be a correlation thing. I think these games can be treated in their own circumstances, and if you do this 10 years, maybe it switches the other way around.
You obviously watch it, and you see, all right, how do the first halves look? That's really what you're looking at in terms of teams coming out flat. Here's the way I look at it. Pros know how to deal with buys. That's a professional teams know how to deal with the buy, and even they only want a week off. They only want 1 week off, get healthy. Takes you 2 weeks to get healthy and sort of have a full week of practice. College teams, you get a month. And a lot of these, it's not they're not the only teams doing this, but half these bowl teams have new guys playing for the first time in these games. You have a full team that had a 12-game, 13-game, a lot of teams, is schedule where they're going game after game after game, road, home, neutral site. And then now you take off a month, like you said, with the routine. There's no way that it doesn't make an impact, in my opinion, because half these teams are coming off home games where you sort of get the jitters out, you get your body sort of loosened up for this. I think that does make a difference. And maybe I'm wrong. If the bye teams go 3-0 today, I will shut up. But
Tech needed the bye because their quarterback said he's healthy for the first time all season.
There's no doubt about that. The first thing they said in the game yesterday was Jeremiah Smith's healthy for the first time in weeks too. You saw it. You noticed it.
He was amazing.
He was amazing in the game.
God, I can't wait till he's catching passes from whoever the hell Miami gets out of the portal next year.
But in my opinion, if you could do this in 2 weeks and then play a week after that, week. Not only is it better for the college football schedule with momentum, your continuous game, because you're not now they're dealing with the NFL. The national championship's gonna be January 17th.
Crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
That's January 17th. That is entirely too late.
That's way too far down the line.
It's 6 weeks. It's 7 weeks after the last team plays their game that doesn't qualify for a conference championship bid. That's 2 months after.
They've gone on 2 vacations since y'all have before y'all even kick off the game.
They're coming back for spring ball before you're even done with your season. That's where I think if you were to expedite the calendar. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it now, but if the bye teams do not play well today, that's what I'm looking at. Because I'm not saying that's the reason Ohio State lost, but it definitely had a factor in the game. And it had a factor in the other games previously. You want to say Arizona State didn't matter? Arizona State was the only one who played competitively in that game against Texas. Keep that in mind. So the only way I look at it is there is something to the fact that these teams have too much time off. I think the baseball teams deal with it. If you ask basketball teams, they don't want to do it. Like, it's just they all think the same way.
So logistically, that would mean probably moving Army-Navy. Right, to week 0?
That would probably what that would mean.
That should happen. That should have been happening. People are so
December
up
14th
in arms
needs
about,
games. Yeah, that's right. That was just Army-Navy. Yeah, you need games. You need games.
Like,
December 14th
should
be the first round.
That's the holy grail. You can't touch Army-Navy week. I love the service.
Make it on a Friday night. Make it the Friday night going into the college football championship.
All right, I can live with that a little bit.
Something.
I can do something, but moving Army-Navy out of the weather of which we're used to seeing Army-Navy played in would just ruin the whole thing. It's like when they moved the Masters because of COVID into the fall.
Yeah.
It changed the entire tournament and it didn't make any sense.
Make it the same time of year. Just find a date. Like that's all right. Have their own specific date. I don't care how you do it. My just opinion on it was the first round was December 19th, and then now we're looking at it. It's January 1st. We're playing the second game. And then after that, we're going to be playing another 10 days. You play the next game after that, and then you wait another 10 days to play the next game after that. It's entirely too many days.
They're challenging people's attention spans, I will say, because you are now in the midst of also the NFL playoffs. Yes. I remember last year's national championship felt like it didn't matter.
It's like non-Texas Tech fans and non-Oregon fans and teams that still have dogs in the fight. You almost forget the season's happening. Yeah. If you're not in tune with and have a vesting interest in teams that are still playing. Like, outside, you're looking at this, you're like, oh, the college football season's still going on.
You moved on.
Need to move it. And that's just, I think it's better for competition's sake. You're talking about injury, give them 2 weeks. Yeah. All right, fine, give them 2 weeks. And I think it's going to move eventually to 16, and that means everybody plays the first week, and then you forget about the buys. But that's just the way I do it.
Thinking of adding more teams.
Specifically with that national championship game being on the Monday after the divisional round or whatever it is.
Yes.
It feels like people are kind of footballed out, no?
Yeah.
Like people get
and that's
their
a crazy
full,
weekend. That's a crazy weekend.
And you get home from work. It's not that's a day off. That's not a natural spot for that game.
Yeah.
It's Martin Luther King Day that day.
Oh, it is going to be
big
on MLK Day. Yeah.
Like it's not a good spot for that game, and you're right. It is almost an afterthought.
Yeah.
The actual national championship game. I like the tournament. I've loved the tournament, and we didn't get too many great games in the first iteration of this 12-team playoff. We had a good game last night. We had a couple of good games earlier on in the tournament. I'm okay with how things have gone, but you're right. They deserve their own shine because getting swallowed by the NFL stinks. These are two great sports we have, college football and the NFL. They deserve their own shine.
Let's play this out. So next week, Miami plays in the Thursday game because they had the early slate. So that's going to be the Fiesta Bowl. That's on Thursday. So you got a Thursday night game. You got a Friday night game as the winner of the Oregon, Texas Tech, and everything like that. So that's going to be the second game. That's the Peach Bowl. That's on Friday. Then you get into Wild Card Weekend. All right, so you're going to have 2 games on Saturday. You're going to have an early Saturday and a late Saturday. Then you get to Sunday. You're going to have 3 games, and then you're going to get to Monday, and you get 1 game that night on Monday Night Football. That is a lot. Great. I'm not complaining, but that is a lot. And and then all of a sudden, you have the college football. Then the playoffs start. And then the playoffs start, that's what you're thinking about because you just watched 7 games in 2 days. So, and then all of a sudden you flip the week again. Then you get to more playoff games, and then you finish off college football. That's the problem.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is it also provides if you're forced, like think about the Super Bowl, the reason, and it's the NFL, but the reason it also works and everybody's still all locked in is because there's nothing else stealing away from your attention. The NFL provides a perfect coping mechanism for
holiday.
Texas Tech fan or let's say James Madison fan or fans of teams that maybe didn't make it all the way. I don't want to speak ill on them. They still got a chance. Ohio State fan to be distracted, right, by the NFL playoffs and whatnot. You would have to be locked in on this if it had a more standalone, but it's going to get buried again, I believe. It will.
And the transfer portal opens tomorrow.
Yeah,
it opens tomorrow.
So
we haven't even talked about the real floodgates that are going to open tomorrow.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Brian Hartline.
JJ.
He was on the first flight out this morning to go to USF to be ready for transfer portal window opening. And he was on the field last night for the Ohio State game. He didn't even go back to Columbus. I'm sure he went over to Florida.
I wonder how many Buckeyes he's bringing with him.
You saw the group hug after the game. Jeremiah Smith just hugging with the Miami guys.
That's the thing people are forgetting in all of this, too, is like those are his people. Reuben Bain. Like Mark Fletcher, the stars of Miami are from Miami as well. That helps a lot. Malachi Toney, he won a state championship in Miami, in Broward, or actually in Miami last year as well. Like these are Miami natives. These are guys that know each other, that love each other. Jeremiah Smith, one of his best friends and former teammates, JoJo Trader, is a wide receiver for who? The University of Miami. It is home. It is home. I'm just saying, like, this is not some kind of weird, skeptical blog site, Reddit post thing. This is a real thing that's happening and playing out in his mind today. Jeremiah Smith is sitting down and considering whether or not he wants to finish his college career at the University of Miami, where it's home, with family, where he could be a part of this machine, or he could go be another Ohio State receiver.
Is Miami going to turn into
another? He's not another.
He's the best one, but I'm just saying.
Let's be fair. I mean, another. Chris Olave. I mean, come on.
I mean, who's the best receiver in the league today? Jackson Smith-Njigba.
And that guy wasn't just another. The funniest part about Smith-Njigba is when you talk to Marvin Harrison and Egbuka and all those guys, and you ask them when they were at Ohio State, who's the best one of you guys? They all just went to Smith-Njigba immediately. That's how highly they believe of him. Yeah. Marvin Harrison hasn't worked out, but Smith is a different animal. Smith could go to the draft tomorrow. And he would have went to the draft last year. He would have been a top 5 pick. He could have gone to the draft this year. He'd be a top 1 pick. And then next year, he's obviously going to be a top 3 pick in the draft.
Marvin Harrison Jr. He called Jeremiah Smith the LeBron James of football.
That good.
And they play the same position.
He's that good.
From the same school.
I worry Miami might turn into the Yankees, where it's someone does really well and grew up a Derek Jeter fan. Future Yankee. He's succeeding in Pittsburgh. Paul Skeens, future Yankee. Yeah. Wide receiver succeeding across the country. Maybe started as a 2-star.
Succeeds from South Florida.
Anyone that succeeds that has a tie. There's a grainy picture of them with a Ray Lewis jersey. Not even a Miami Ray Lewis jersey. Just a 52 in purple.
Yeah.
Future Hurricane. And it's the same thing with quarterbacks, right? Any quarterback who enters the portal, the top guy will be considered probably a Hurricane next.
Well, keep it G, though. And we all have our biases. We all have our favorite colleges. I could not think of a better place. If Miami is successful, if they're playing good football, I couldn't think of a better place to play football in college than Miami of the prestigious programs across the nation today.
Well,
if they have the NIL budget and you're also able to play not in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but in South Florida.
You played a very
Miami
capable,
Gardens,
easy conference.
You're going to be in a conference that you can dominate like Clemson just did.
You
also are built.
Forgetting Lubbock, Texas, and Eugene, Oregon.
Okay,
I mean, where's this guy living under a rock? Jeez Louise, man. Like, come on.
He's playing to the crowd here. You know what? Love me some Lubbock. I'm from Houston,
Lubbock?
Texas.
You like Lubbock?
I love me some Lubbock. But what I will tell you is, I mean, look at the weather here. Like, look at the vibes. Look
This
at
is
the palm
not the right day to
trees.
say that. It
Look
was
at the palm
40
trees.
degrees this morning. You can see your
It's
breath.
still good. Like, what's the degrees in Lubbock? What's the weather in Lubbock right now?
Probably not
Cold?
great. It's probably not great.
It's probably not that great. But I love Lubbock. I love West Texas, man. Big shout out to y'all. All I'm saying is if you are a college football budding star and the University of Miami calls and they've got the money, they've got the beach, they've got the palm trees, they've got an ACC that you can win every year as long as you're just above water, as people try to say, why would you not want to go suit up for the Canes, man? It's a lot of motion in Miami.
There's Theo Dorsey's recruiting pitch for University of Miami, for all the future, Ohio State Buckeyes and Indiana Hoosiers that are listening.
Oregon knows how my boy Mario Cristobal get down. He had a top 10 recruiting class at Oregon. He's doing it at Miami still.
Yep, and he's building up the lines, which is what Miami's going to have speed. That's pretty much a given. But yes, that's how that goes, 100%.
I love it, man. And again, I'm sorry, no more disparaging of the teams that are here today. Shout out Lubbock, shout out Eugene. I heard that grass is damn green.
There's no V in the word Lubbock, right?
I'm not saying a V.
I feel like you're calling it Lubbock.
Lubbock. I'm saying Lubbock. I just don't pronounce my words right because I'm from Texas. I'm from the South, baby.
Oh, okay.
Experience the world's premier equestrian event right here in Wellington, Florida. Love me some Lubbock. Love me some Eugene. I also love me some Wellington, Florida, and that's where you can tap in on the great equestrian, the premier equestrian that's going down. We've got the Winter Equestrian Festival that brings together the best athletes and horses from around the globe, and they're going to be here for 13 weeks of elite international equestrian competition. General admission is free the day from Thursday through Sunday. General admission free during the day from Thursday through Sunday at the Winter Equestrian Festival. So don't miss out on also Saturday Night Lights. You got high energy show jumping under the lights. I'm telling you, C-Cat, you probably haven't been to WEF yet. Saturday night, best night to go.
Okay.
Family fun. They got activities, food, music, excitement, everything you want. If you're going to have your debut day at a Winter Equestrian Festival, try out a Saturday night in Wellington, Florida. It is absolutely astounding. The world-class sport has all of the best shopping, dining, and premium hospitality as well. So now through March at Wellington International, experience the world's premier equestrian event, and that is Winter Equestrian Festival. For more information, visit wellingtoninternational.com. That is wellingtoninternational.com. Wellington International, where champions are made. Tap in on WEF season, baby.
Champions are made. We'll see who the champion is crowned here in a couple of weeks at the National Championship at Hard Rock Stadium. Theo Dorsey, Colin Russo, Christian Katt into the next hour of the Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show. Texas Tech, Oregon. Let's get into the game. The positives, the negatives, pros, cons. What are the storylines to follow in the Capital One Orange Bowl 2026, January 1st? We'll be back after this on the Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show on ESPN West Palm.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest innovations to create a treatment plan personalized for you, no matter who you are. Our team of orthopedic and sports medicine specialists have the expertise to help you get back out there performing at your best. And with top-notch recovery and physical therapy, you'll be back in the game and living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. The college football playoff is closing in on a national champion. Today, one team punches its ticket to the CFP semifinals. The 2025 Orange Bowl is set for kickoff, and ESPN West Palm is live from Hard Rock Stadium in sunny South Florida. This is the ESPN West Palm Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show.
Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show. Colin Russo with Theo Dorsey and Christian Katt out front at FanFest, where Texas Tech and Oregon fans gather together to get ready for a 12 p.m. kick at Hard Rock Stadium down here in Miami, Florida. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN South Florida and ESPN West Palm. Hope everybody's having a wonderful start to their 2026 January 1st. We get a triple header today. Starting off with the Orange Bowl, then you got the Rose Bowl, and then you finish things off with the Sugar Bowl up in Louisiana, I guess from here, with Georgia and Ole Miss finishing things off. Miami already closed things out last night, winning last night against Ohio State by 24-14. They move on. They will face the winner of the Georgia-Ole Miss game in the Fiesta Bowl. That is going to be next Thursday. And the winner of today's game, the Capital One Orange Bowl, will be going to the Peach Bowl next Friday. Texas Tech and Oregon are interesting teams because they are two dominant teams for either reason. Texas Tech is top 11 scoring on defense and offense, and they boast a FBS differential of plus 31, which means they win each game by an average of about 30 points. They are one of the more dominant outscoring their opponent teams of all time. Now you can make questions about the Big 12, but the thing is, Texas Tech has mostly dominated about everybody they have played. They have one loss, and Oregon also has one loss as well. Arizona State and Indiana were the two teams that knocked these two powerhouses off. And the thing about Texas Tech, they haven't been here not a long time. They got some real money that got behind that program last year and the year before that. They were able to get some real talent defensively. They have one of the best defenses in the country, no doubt, and they're starting to get healthy offensively. Theo, what are you looking for in this game, and what's the storyline that you want to follow?
I want to see what Baron Morton's his actual mobility looks like right now, as they're saying that now his leg is getting back to full health. I do think you sparked something that I've been thinking for quite some time, and Texas Tech, to me, is what's right about college football today.
People would argue the exact opposite.
No, and I hear you on that, right? But for the last 20 years, I bet you Texas Tech Red Raiders fans who have been showing up to those games out in Lubbock, rooting on that program and cheering for that squad, win, lose, or draw. And a lot of times their expectations was, a 7-win season would be mighty fine. An 8-win season would be great to come by. Now they get money pumped into their program. They're paying the players, and the players are actually out there performing at a high level. They have a coach they can believe in. And that, what Texas Tech tells me is that any program across the nation can be awakened by an insertion of cash. If it means that much to you, pull up and do it. It's not just Michigan that can do it. It's not just Ohio State. It's not just Oregon that has the Nike money. But if Texas Tech can do it, there are other programs that can get funding, that can get a spark of hope. That's why I say it's what's right with college football. I do understand those that hate the integrity of, you just bought yourself a championship. Well, hell, the SEC's been doing it since the 60s. SMU bought championships. Miami bought championships before it was legal as well. I like that you can do it above ground. I love what Texas Tech got going on.
Wow, I like that a lot. That's a different way of looking at things because you're right. Anyone does have a chance as long as you have the the money in the bank account to cash the checks.
Florida Atlantic, FAU could possibly do it, right?
Well, you needed Cody Campbell, who's the businessman, former offensive lineman for Texas Tech, who oil-made billionaire, came in, fronted a lot of the offensive line, a lot of the money that went towards this team. They also got Joey McGuire. They got him out of a Dallas area high school team, and then jumps all the way to the college football scene, and he dominates year 4 under him.
That's a beautiful uprising, though. What's wrong with that?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And the thing about Texas Tech that's great is it really, since the Mike Leach days, you've been kind of waiting for Texas Tech, who's always been a good program, who've had good players. They never really had great teams.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes made his heyday here, but, those teams were never any great. Cliff Kingsbury's, his teams were never that great. So I think it's a testament to sort of, yes, the fandom around the team, but they have talent, always offensively. It's a matter of can they match everything together, and they have. Defensively, one of the top defenses in the country, and they've dominated just about everybody they have played this season. Outside of the Arizona State game, which is the lone game they lost, everybody else they have completely dominated, including BYU twice in the Big 12 championship game to close things out.
Yeah.
This is a team that knows how to win big. Can I make the argument that's the thing I'm most worried about with this team? If this is a close game, how is Texas Tech going to fare? If this is going to be drive by drive, is there a level of battle-testedness that will make me a little nervous in this spot? They are the team with the bye. Will that make you nervous? They haven't played in a month. Clearly, that doesn't help other teams. Teams who are 0-5 with the bye going into the 12-round second quarterfinal with the college football playoff. That makes me a little nervous if I'm Texas Tech. On top of that, Oregon has talent. They have a quarterback who's likely going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. You got to assume that they're going to be able to score. But the good news is James Madison put up 30-some-odd points on Oregon. I don't care if it was garbage time. They still did. That tells me that Texas Tech should be able to get something going offensively, and it's a matter of can they slow down the Oregon offense.
Yeah, I think if the over-under on this game is about 50-50.5, if this is a shootout that clearly favors Oregon, that has the high-flying offense, they got the playmaker. Like, some of these playmakers are also just getting back to health. When you think of DeCorian Moore and some of the guys they have on the outside, they have the weapons, they have the
multiple running backs.
Oh, my God.
Deep offense. It's a deep offense.
It's classic Oregon football team. If this is a shootout that favors Oregon, if this is one of those games like we saw Miami play their last two where it's a dogfight, you got to win it at the trenches, Texas Tech actually fares better in there, and they have a better defense. So if I'm Tech, it won't hurt them as much if they start offensively flat like Ohio State did last night, if they're a little flat off the bye, because I think that they want this to be a defensive struggle that's played in the low teens or early 20s.
Yeah, the only game that really was a struggle that Oregon won was that low-scoring, weird weather game against Iowa, which the weather definitely did contribute to an 18-16 win over Iowa.
It's a tough place to win. Ask Vanderbilt. It's a tough team to beat. Every year, Iowa's that thorn in your side game.
Team. Ask Vanderbilt. Who would have said that 4 years ago?
Ask
they'll let you know. Yes, Texas Tech will have a significant amount more firepower than Iowa in the situation, and the weather, as we see today, won't be a factor whatsoever.
No.
I'm nervous. One thing I'll say, too, is on top of this, I said it earlier, but the close game aspect, the fact is I like teams that have a little bit of battle-testedness because you saw it with Ohio State. Ohio State had the Texas game. They escaped that. Outside of that, they didn't play a close game all year. They didn't play a close game for 3 months. And then you go and play the Indiana game where it's drive-by-drive. Hey, we need a big field goal.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a crucial field goal. They stride out that kicker in 2 straight games, and he costs them twice. That was because the guys never hit a high-leverage kick all year. And so I'd make the argument that teams that are a little bit more battle-tested, whether for better or worse, I think they offer a little bit more in terms of comfortability in a tight spot. Oregon, I'm not saying that this team is perfect. I'm not saying that they're great, but they played overtime Penn State. That was a drive-by-drive game. They played the Iowa game. That was a drive-by-drive game. Played Indiana. Even though they lost, that was a crucial drive game. Oregon is clearly more battle-tested, adversity-tested. Texas Tech is just more dominant.
And they've been here. And they didn't go well, but they've been here. So I do think that if you're leaning on the experience, if you're leaning on the, like you said, the battle testing of it all, you like Oregon. Again, if this is a dogfight, if Texas Tech can muck this thing up, that defense can be absolutely dominant at the line of scrimmage.
That's the goal.
And I think that will play in their favor so well. Like, This is either going to be a narrow shootout win by Oregon, or this could be a dominant win by Texas Tech if they're able to kind of get their ducks in a row.
Like you said, Oregon's been here, quote-unquote, before, and it didn't go well. Do you think that shellacking they took to Ohio State last year is more of a motivator or more of a, oh, no, here we go again? Because we've seen Texas Tech has the ability to overwhelm you and dominate you.
I kind of think they will, man. I don't want to. I have an inclination that Texas Tech is going to like we could be looking at 21 zip midway through the second.
Yeah,
17 zip midway through, like similar to last night. Similar to last night, how Miami just won it in the trenches and was more down. Like who, that linebacker they have,
Jacob Rodriguez, who could have gotten Heisman votes, and I believe he did. But the one thing I'll add to that is they did that in the Utah game earlier in the year. They did that in the BYU game both times, where they are down to muddy it up, play slow, play ugly, and then after a quarter and a half, they sort of let the offenses unravel in front of them, and then they capitalize on opportunities. That's exactly what happened against BYU, and that's exactly what happened in that Utah game where it was a close game, and then all of a sudden they blow it open. So those are just two that come to mind. So I agree with you in the sense that if they want to slow this down, it's sort of like we're daring you to make a mistake. And I wonder if Oregon is going to be the team to do that. Now, let's talk about Dante Moore. This is somebody that first year starting at quarterback. In my opinion, I think you could sense that he's a first-year starter. He's replacing Dylan Gabriel, who was the backup last year, former UCLA quarterback. He's now being floated as a top 3 pick in the draft.
Right.
Sort of out of nowhere. And it's like Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore, or QB1 and QB2. You see that? I don't know if I see a professional-level guy like that, and people are like, oh, I love Moore. Moore's a fine player. He seemed young to me every big game I've seen him in.
I always struggle early on in their careers at least, to gauge how good of a pro they're going to be. But I will say I was listening to the Todd McShay podcast, or the McShay Show, or whatever they call it, and great dude. Obviously,
great plug too.
Right, he's like at home like clapping. Oh my God, they mentioned me. But they talked about the highs and lows that could come with Dante Moore, and they said that he reminded them of like a Justin Herbert, or there was another name that was thrown out there.
The other Oregon quarterback?
I know. But it was another name that kind of made some sense.
So I guess what he's trying to say in that context is Herbert's obviously a big, strong dude.
Big, strong.
He wasn't an elite college contributor, but Herbert had tools.
Yes.
And I think that's what people drafted him highly on, because he's huge, he had a huge arm, and he was an immediate contributor. He was better in his rookie year than he was in any year at Oregon.
Yeah.
And it was because he played for Mario Cristobal, who's now at Miami. It was one of those situations where he was on a run-first offense. I remember one of the better games he played was against Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl. And then he goes to the NFL and he breaks the rookie passing touchdown record. Immediately.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something true to that, but teams are high on him. Teams are high on this kid. He's going to get drafted top 5 if he wants
Drake
to leave.
May. That's what it was. I was trying to figure it out. But the reason why I love the comp.
That's another example.
But the reason why I love the comp was it was 2 white dudes. I was like, oh, like they did the cross-racial sports comp. I got to remember this.
Which they rarely do.
Yeah, which that means is he really felt it. He really meant it. Now, Justin Herbert's low-hanging fruit because it's Oregon quarterback to Oregon QB. But when he said Drake May as well, I'm like, okay, I see the potential there. But he's got to prove it in games like this before a team is going to take a top 3, top 4 pick and actually use it on him. I think the QB2 notion is being floated out there because we know who QB1 is, and the only way to have a QB1 is to also compare him to a QB2, and that just became Dante Moore.
Now, Christian, you were a Penn State fan. Back when Penn State was relevant and Penn State was having big games early in the season, they had the Ohio State, I believe that was the whiteout game early in the season at Beaver Stadium. Am I wrong?
Which game?
The Oregon game.
Yes.
And that was an overtime game. Back and forth affair. That was sort of the beginning of the end in a lot of ways for Penn State.
Yeah, so bladed grass.
What do you remember about that game and seeing from Oregon then? Does that the fact that Penn State was so poor after the fact, does that actually give you confidence in Oregon here, or does that actually hurt their chances?
How does the Penn State game help or hurt Oregon?
Because Penn State ended up not being a good team, and Oregon, played them tough back and forth, escaped in overtime.
And Oregon got, I know the score was a 10-point game, but Indiana did dominate Oregon.
Yeah.
Totally.
They controlled that game from the opening whistle to the end.
I think that's what Tech's about to do, man.
Taking victory knees.
And Indiana's got a great defense.
Yeah.
And that controlled the game.
I don't gather from the Penn State win for Oregon the battle-tested, win the game in crunch time situation. I don't gather that. I gather they made it close with an inferior opponent. That's what I gather from that. I don't look at Oregon more positively in retrospect because they won the close game, even with the little number next to Penn State being very high in that moment. That's what I would say. They outcoached James Franklin, which is not a groundbreaking achievement. Like, that's what I saw there.
And Dan Lanning's good in a big game.
Yeah.
He's usually been really, really solid in a big spot. I mean, outside of that Washington year where Washington beat them twice, knocked them out, that was the year Washington went to the final and lost to Michigan.
Good Washington team.
So that was a great team. But Oregon's sort of been that team that's been knocking. Another thing I want to bring up about Oregon is they're losing both their coordinators to head coaching gigs. Tosh Lupoy and Will Klein. Will Klein's taking the Kansas State job. I could be wrong, but Tosh Lupoy's taking the Cal job.
I just press he knows these dudes' names. Like,
Yeah,
so they're
But
talking about
they're losing both
the fleeting
coordinators.
Oregon coordinators.
The one thing about it is Ohio State lost their offensive coordinator. I'm not saying this made a huge deal in the game, but Ryan Day had to take over play calling duties because of this. I don't know if anything's changing in terms of the actual play calling today or anything like that, but I do think that changes things.
It matters.
Because this now you all of a sudden similar. It didn't matter with Ole Miss, but now you got your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator going back and forth between two programs. Hey, putting together a staff here, going to recruit a guy here. Now we got to go prepare for Texas Tech for 3 days. And then we're going back because we got to do a boosters meeting at Cal. And then we're going back to Oregon.
The transfer portal opening up.
Transfer portal opens up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be making calls, win or lose. They're making calls tomorrow morning in favor of their program. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Number one, it's a bad thing in college football, but I don't know if that hurts Oregon today.
It does, but how much does it hurt them is the question. Like, it has to hurt. When your attention is split, we only have 24 hours in a day. You only have so much attention you're able to spend on anything at any given time. When your attention is split, it does inevitably hurt, which is why Ryan Day took over the play calling duties, because he didn't want to put a hard line in that situation. It can hurt Oregon, but how much will it hurt them will be played out on the field.
It also is, if you have a coordinator who's good enough to get poached for a head coaching job, it says a lot about what they built here.
Yeah.
Versus having a coordinator that maybe wasn't good enough to get looks for an attractive head coaching job where you have his full attention. But is the full attention of an inferior coordinator better than a split attention of a better coordinator? Who's to say?
Who can be the judge of that? And that's why another one I look at is Miami. Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator for Miami, who was in his first year, who coached up a top 5 defense from Miami this year. I think that the Canes are going to be likely in this kind of situation next year if head coaching jobs open up, because he's one of those guys that could be a candidate. And I think that what you just said, what you built over the 12, 13-game season before the playoffs is going to matter more than where your attention is split on the day of.
Which, Lane Kiffin's guys looked really good in their first-round playoff game.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's guys are 6.5-point dogs in that game against Georgia. If they win again, I think
that would be incredible.
People are going to try to use it as a knock to Lane Kiffin. They are, inevitably, because it's an easy target. But I think it's more to credit to what he had built there. And he's just, unfortunately, due to the counter, not able to enjoy the spoils of his, victor, really.
Right.
Like, you got to credit him.
He gets paid for it.
That's
LSU's
true.
paying him, I think, $1.5 million for every win they take in the college football playoff.
I love that, by the way. I love that. That is pretty great. Like, you don't like that?
I don't love it, but it's $1.5 million. That's a lot of money.
He's getting $1.5 million if his team wins, and he ain't got to do nothing about it. He's just sitting back watching.
I saw a report. I'm going to look it up what the developing story is. He wants to be at that game.
Yeah, I did see that. And people are questioning whether he'll be there. And it was wishy-washy. It was wishy-washy. I don't know about that.
If you're him, do you put $500,000 on Georgia?
Hedge it. It's a hedge.
He kind of has to, right? He kind of has to put some money on Georgia.
That's not a bad idea.
Because you're going to get $1.5 million. I'll reach out to Lane's people, and we'll get something cooked up.
We'll also get some game predictions with each of the 3 triple-header games that we have later on today. You get the Rose Bowl at 4, and then you finish things off with the Sugar Bowl. Colin Klein was the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. He took the Kansas State job.
Okay.
Will Stein was the offensive coordinator at Oregon. He took the Kentucky job.
Thank you.
Had to correct myself. That is my mistake. I'm getting yelled at. I think I don't know. Colin Klein. We will get. Oh, okay. How about that? We got the Orange Bowl.
There we go. We got an Orange Bowl shirt. I love this
got
shirt.
fans here at Fan Zone live outside of Hard Rock Stadium. We'll take a timeout. Get into our predictions next. It's the Orange Bowl pregame show on ESPN West Palm.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
The college football playoff is closing in on a national champion. Today, one team punches its ticket to the CFP semifinals. The 2025 Orange Bowl is set for kickoff, and ESPN West Palm is live from Hard Rock Stadium in sunny South Florida. Let's get back to the ESPN West Palm Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show.
It's warmed up quite a bit, about 60 degrees outside of Hard Rock Stadium for the Capital One Orange Bowl. It was a chilly morning here in South Florida, as chilly as it gets. So for those traveling from Eugene, Oregon, where it rains about 90% of the year, expecting sunshine and rainbows, think again, because it's a little cold for South Florida standards. Nonetheless, outside here at Hard Rock Stadium at the Fan Zone, Colin Russo, Christian Katt, Theo Dorsey, having a great time here on ESPN West Palm for the Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show, where you got Texas Tech and Oregon both with 1 loss apiece, sitting at 12-1, going head-to-head in the second round of the college football playoff quarterfinal, I should say. Winner of this game moves on to the Peach Bowl. Should be a whole lot of fun. Looking forward to that 12 o'clock kick. And you also got a couple other games today, including the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl from 4 to 8 p.m. So looking forward to that. Triple header today. A lot to look forward to. And we got to do a little safe-bound get-around and figure out what our game predictions are. Let's do it. The safe-bound get-around.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
I like the Red Raiders, the gun symbol thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's also really non-threatening because it's like we're just popping them in the air.
So like if they were on straight A, like down the barrel, maybe a side behind
kind of aggressive. You couldn't do this. You can't do this. But this one right here,
that's a penalty.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You gotta watch
he's suspended in the NBA for that.
Wait a second. If you are a wide receiver, graduated from Texas Tech, you catch a first down, and you do the Texas Tech thing,
you will get a flag.
Get a flag?
I think so.
That's kind of garbage.
Because it's a gun.
It is a gun.
It's literally a gun.
It's not literally a gun.
Well, it's literally a gun symbol.
If it was literally a gun, you get arrested.
Can't bring that in the
Depends on
field.
what state you're in.
I think you should be okay to, because this, I guess you just extend, or how many fingers I don't know.
Wave
That's
it.
the
You gotta
rules.
wave it a little
So there's
bit.
rules about that. It's about where you point it. If you point it at other people, it's
Okay.
about if you make a shooting sound or a motion. There are rules to this.
Well, yeah, they air out the club sometimes. You kick down the door.
Well, the
and
NBA
you
has
pull one of
rules
these.
about this too, because NBA three-point celebrations have now turned into gun violence threats. Because every time they hit a three, they're pointing the gun, but it turned into like you got to hold up the three.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you don't move your hand. There's rules and regulations.
You can't
they've
aim down the
established
scope.
to the- You can't aim. You can't move.
You gotta put the safety on first, and then you get to do.
They called
This is
John
Lubbock,
Moran.
Texas, though. It
doesn't matter out there. Yeah.
They called John Moran a madman, but the innovation that he drove by getting in trouble for his off-the-court issues,
Let's be careful
bleeding
here.
into his on-the-court celebrations, the grenade throw is awesome.
The grenade throw, when he explained it, he said,
I agree. That's not a huge problem.
He said, what did he say? I'm talking. He said, I'm taking what they say. I'm
it's the most
throwing it away.
nonsensical
listening.
excuse.
I'm not
Yeah.
listening.
It's the most nonsensical excuse you've ever heard in your entire life.
But yeah, the Texas Tech, to loop it all back, I love the Texas Tech hand signal.
Love
And
it.
the little wave, too.
Little wave.
Theo, you're a Texas guy yourself. Have you been to Lubbock?
I've never been to.
He loves it.
Actually, you know what though? I'm tripping. I just lied to you. I have. I drove past it though. I drove past it.
You drove through it. Okay. Wow.
You
You didn't stop. You didn't think to stop.
Was it
Huge college football campus right here.
Was it
huge
well
stadium.
paved?
I have been to Eugene though. My sister graduated from the law school of Eugene, Oregon. I made sure I got a picture with the duck. I love the duck. The duck is a little freaky sometimes on college game day. We forgive him for that.
How'd you feel about that campus? Isn't it like a Nike store?
It is a beautiful campus. They got, oh my God. I was there while they had this track and field event going on as well. There's the Nike store, the Duck store. They have one of the best team stores ever.
Was it raining?
It wasn't raining.
Wow, okay.
And it is damn green out there in Eugene, Oregon.
So we went to Eugene. We
can't
didn't go to
agree.
Lubbock. Just we drove through Lubbock.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Cade,
this is a safe bound get around right
it
now?
is a safe bound get around.
We're taking trips.
And Cade, I
We
feel
just
the
went to
brakes.
Lubbock. We drove through
We
Lubbock.
drove
I like
past
that.
Lubbock. We didn't stop.
I feel the brakes. Someone pulled the ripcord at the top of the, the bus driver stopped. Cade, where are we going to first? And that will bring us to
Next stop.
Pasadena, California.
Oh, big shout
That's
out.
the home of the Rose Bowl.
There you
I
go.
almost said
The
Orange
granddaddy
Bowl.
of them all.
It is the granddaddy of a traditional power in Alabama and the new kid to the show who happens to be undefeated #1 team in the nation, Indiana.
I love it.
The line has moved from 6.5 Indiana favored to now 7.5, which is a significant movement.
Wow.
It takes a lot of money to move over that key number of 7. Indiana now 7.5-point favorites. We're using the safe bound get around today to get to our score predictions of the games going on today. How do you see Alabama, Indiana shaking out?
I lean to the side of this being a closer game, but I do like Indiana in this game. I don't think Alabama's going to put a ton of pressure on them. I think Indiana, people have forgotten. The last time we saw Indiana, they had that big namesake win over Ohio State. They rode that high. Now, they haven't played in a month. That's the one thing I don't love. And Alabama's good in a big game. They're not afraid of any opponent at any given time. Kalen DeBoer is good in a big spot. He has been here before, quite literally. Kurt Cignetti is not. So I'm curious to see how that does, but I also think there's a little bit of bad blood between Cignetti and his history at Alabama. I think he'll kind of relay that onto his players, and I think Indiana's the better football team. I think Indiana's going to have a good win today.
Kirk Cignetti, I think what we're looking at here is a guy that was going to go down as one of the better, if not one of the great coaches of this modern college football era. I also think that Fernando Mendoza is exactly who you say our guy Carson Beck is. And that's going to be the difference in this game. Fernando Mendoza, who's going to be the #1 overall pick, but shout Carson Beck because the Canes get the win, and I'm much love to the Canes. They're my boys, throwing up to you. But Carson Beck, what you say about him?
What do I say? We text
we text
often,
about this,
and a lot of this not on the air.
He says, was it the
you know the nickname that Nick Foles got when he
Yeah.
won a Super Bowl with the Eagles?
Yeah.
They call it a piece of body mass.
Yeah, they said
I'm
that.
saying Carson Beck's got that energy for Miami.
He said that he had that energy. I told you he's more. I would say he's medium. He's a medium guy.
Okay.
He's a medium guy.
But Fernando Mendoza.
That's what you want. Right
Okay.
there. That's the guy right there.
You
He's
looked
gonna
into
break
his
it.
eyes at ACC kickoff when he was with Cal, and you said, "This man's got it."
Miami
This guy's
fans
got
like,
it.
I don't know if
This
I've
guy's
seen
got
it.
Fernando Mendoza is that guy. Indiana has the coach. I think they have the better coach and the better quarterback, and I think that they win against
Did you
Alabama
see
easily.
that Ty Simpson said in the pregame in the media availability that he does Legos, like high-intensity 35,000-piece Lego sets in his free time?
I think it's pretty cool.
I think him and Mendoza's a match made in heaven. Because that's something that Mendoza, I think, we get a kick
and
out
Miles
of.
Turner.
They're going to talk about that pregame. They're talking about what Lego sets they knocked out. But that's what Ty Simpson said, the quarterback of Alabama.
I love unique hobbies.
Yeah.
I got to say.
I think Indiana might blow Alabama out.
Yeah. You think we're due for a blowout?
Yeah, I think we're due for a blowout, and I'm also just following the gambling lines, and I feel like the average Joe who might watch max 10, 11 college football games a year is looking at, you're going to give me Alabama 7.5 points, jumping all over that, and then Curt Cignetti introduces himself to the mainstream even furthermore with a blowout win over Alabama. It's like just checking off boxes right now for Cignetti. We're slaying the dragon in the Big Ten. Last time we saw that team, and now you're going to come for a traditional power like Alabama. I see it going Indiana's way. A large and due part to Fernando Mendoza. That defense is awesome, but we knew that already. Where are we going to next?
Has no run game either. It's going to hurt them.
Next up,
we are going to New Orleans. New Orleans.
Nolens. It's Nolens.
Nolens.
Yeah.
It is New Orleans. The Caesars Superdome. We're going to the Sugar Bowl. It's Georgia versus Ole Miss. Georgia is 6.5-point favorites, taking on a familiar foe out of the SEC. How do you see this game going? Again, Lane Kiffin might be in the building. He won't be on the sideline.
This is where I see the underdog. This is where I see you're going to see the bye again. I actually think Ole Miss is going to play well today. The last time we saw Ole Miss, they played at Athens. It was a very competitive game through about 3.5 quarters. Now, I don't know if you're a Miami fan which team you want to see. One team's a track meet. The other one's a proven contender. So I don't really know which side you want. But if I'm Miami, I would probably agree with that.
We got Miami fans right here. They say
I would probably want Ole Miss too, because you could dominate both lines of scrimmage. But the way I look at it is, I think this is going to be another one where the actual the underdog takes this one. I think you'll see the bye. I think that team will come out flat. I think Georgia's good. Georgia's been challenged a bunch. They've been in a lot of close games, but I've also seen Georgia being thoroughly outplayed by Alabama in their home field. They should have lost to Tennessee at Tennessee, without, if not for a Gunnar Stockton 4th and 7, a blind heave. That was a great throw, but still. Outside of that, I think Ole Miss is going to win this one. I think they're going to win this one in spite of Lane Kiffin and to spite him, and that's why they're going to take that one away.
Great quarterback name matchup here, right? Like Trinidad Chambliss, Gunnar Stockton. These are kids that were born to be quarterbacks at this level. And I will say this, if I'm an Ole Miss fan, you're playing with house money. You feel like your team is playing with house money. You have the excuse in your back pocket of Lane Kiffin isn't there. You want to win in spite of Kiffin leaving you, but then also you can talk about how all of that dissension knocked away at what could have been a historic season. Ole Miss is going to be playing freely. Ole Miss is going to be playing inspired. I like Ole Miss to win a close game here.
Yeah, Ole Miss kind of has that back pocket excuse, like you mentioned, where they either go, yeah, we didn't need Lane if you win this game.
Yeah.
If you lose this game, man, Lane abandoned this chance to win a national championship. You could have done that here. You didn't go to LSU for that.
Yeah.
But we have a bunch of Miami fans in front of us right now because the winner of that Sugar Bowl game plays the Miami Hurricanes after we saw last night's Cotton Bowl. So I'm going to hand them the mic, and I want to ask the people that have rooting interest in this game, who do you want to see? Do you want to see Georgia or do you want to see Ole Miss? First, give me a name, give me your hometown, and then tell me who you want to win the Sugar Bowl.
Tell us why you're a Miami fan, too, and be careful, we are live on the radio.
Yeah, it's live radio, don't cuss.
Let me tell you, it's all written in the script.
What's your name?
My name's Cameron.
Okay, Cameron.
It's all written in the script. Miami avenges themselves over Ohio State. Carson Beck beats his former team in Georgia. And Mario Cristobal goes on to win the national championship over Oregon, his former team. It's all written in the script. It's written in the script.
And
we'll all see it happen.
I love it.
Now, why are you a Miami fan?
I've grown up a Miami fan my whole life.
Okay, so that's it.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. All right, I didn't
From
know.
here.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anybody want? You want Georgia? Anybody want Ole Miss?
We want Georgia.
Everybody wants Georgia.
Everybody wants Georgia.
Everybody wants Georgia.
Georgia's the better team, but we want to see it happen.
You want to beat the best?
We want to beat the best.
What team are you got? What team are you most afraid of, Cameron? That's still left playing in the playoffs
Georgia,
at this
to be
point.
honest.
Yeah,
Georgia, you're
the
still
best
most.
team in the country right now, but
Georgia's the best team in the country right now. In
Outside of Miami.
outside of Miami.
I was about to say, what is this dude doing? Take the jersey off, Dan. Take the jersey off. He's over here. He's crying.
No, Georgia was the most dangerous team until we've proven ourselves now.
Are you nervous about Carson Beck in a big spot?
Of course not. He just proved himself.
Against
that's
Kirby
fine.
Smart.
They're not pushing the ball.
They're not letting. Here's the reason. You guys lost to the Louisville and SMU game. I'd make the argument. pretty much all of that is because of Carson Beck and throwing interceptions, right?
Of course.
The Louisville game and then the SMU game in overtime as well. I think the fact that Mario Cristobal is actually letting the defense make the plays and he sort of manages the game, I think that's the right way to do it.
Mario Cristobal was way more conservative in the first half of the season. Now he sees like he's got to put his foot on their neck.
Yeah.
And we're going in the right direction right now. I was a little nervous about Mario Cristobal at the beginning. Of
course.
But now he's proven himself. Every season he's getting better, and I like the way we're looking right now. I like us over anyone right now.
I love it. I love it. And that should be the way you think. Appreciate you. What was it again?
Cameron. That's Cameron. Appreciate
Cameron.
Miami fans right here. They all want Georgia, so I'm surprised about that. They all want Georgia. I guess they want the story. I get it. Carson Beck against his former team.
That would be great.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And our final stop of the Safe-Bound Get-Around is...
Next stop.
Oh, it's right here in Miami Gardens.
Oh, wow.
Where, after this short commercial break, we will give you our predictions for the 2026 Capital One Orange Bowl on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Colin, have you checked out Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace?
Vitacost? I love Vitacost!
Right? It's a full online sports marketplace. Over 500 performance products from trusted brands like Vega, Thorne, Vital Proteins, and Muscle Milk, all free from banned substances.
So no guessing, no label scrubbing, just clean fuel to train harder and recover smarter.
You got it. And don't forget, save 20% with code ESPN20 at sportcertified.com.
Fuel clean, train smarter. Try Sports Certified by Vitacost today.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey, it's Theo, and let's be real, moving sucks. Boxes, packing, all that stress, who's got time for it? That's why there's Safe-Bound Moving and Storage. We handle everything. Whether you're moving local or long distance, we offer a headache-free experience, just the way moving should be. Get your free quote today at safeboundmoving.com, because every move should feel safe with Safe-Bound.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
The college football playoff is closing in on a national champion. Today, one team punches its ticket to the CFP semifinals. The 2025 Orange Bowl is set for kickoff, and ESPN West Palm is live from Hard Rock Stadium in sunny South Florida. Let's get back to the ESPN West Palm Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show.
The Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show closing things out here, closing out our Safebound Get-Around. We're live outside of Hard Rock Stadium at Fan Fest, where we're taking you up until kickoff, just about 20 minutes away, a little under, for Texas Tech and Oregon, both sitting at 12-1 in the Capital One Orange Bowl 2026, January 1st. First day of the new year. We got a triple header on deck. You got this, you got the Rose Bowl, you got the Sugar Bowl, you got all this action throughout the next about 8 hours of college football. We got to make some game predictions, Christian.
Yeah, we do. And before we get to that, there are so many local people that are coming to this Orange Bowl. You might think Eugene, Oregon, Lubbock, Texas, not a lot of local ties to South Florida. But because of the affordability of tickets, people are saying, wait, I'm not doing anything else on New Year's Day.
You live down the street, you could probably still get a ticket and go walk over to the game.
I mean, you live down the street. You live in our listening area. If you're in Boca Raton or West Palm, you get here, you're going to be there for the media timeout. So come on down. And we have a couple of different ways you want to root for this game. And one of which is for the music that the bands will provide for the people in attendance today. So Cade, back in the studio, has got the fight songs for both teams. And first, I want to hear, I actually haven't heard these yet, I want to hear what Oregon's fight song sounds like. So maybe this impacts who you're rooting for in this game. Let us hear it, Cade. Okay. Oregon Ducks. I don't know the words, but... Quack, 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 quack.
Don't these all sound the same to you guys?
Gotta be honest, they might.
They kind of do.
They kind of do a little bit. I will say this: I have become very familiar with the Oregon fight song because I'm in this CFB 26 online dynasty, and my buddy has Oregon, and he scores a lot of touchdowns on me. So
okay, all right, so that was Oregon.
That's Oregon's. Let me see if I notice a difference.
Yeah, here's the test.
You're gonna notice.
Here's Texas Tech's
fight songs all sound the same.
Fight song.
No, they don't. It's different.
We wear red and black and we fire our guns. Bang, bang.
There are a lot of, some schools share fight songs. Feels like it.
Yeah.
Some schools, I can't
I've heard
tell
this
you which
before.
one. Yeah, no.
At 17 other schools.
Okay.
It's the same song. Same song. It's similar songs.
Yeah.
They're all at the same BPM. They're all at the same rhythm and speed.
Because you're celebrating the touchdown.
We got Charlie
I don't know what to tell
here.
you. Like, if they just sit, like, LSU's got the, they got a
That's an unofficial fight song playing now.
That is not
bam, bam, bam.
That's not a fight song?
That's everybody plays that.
No, that's LSU thing, right?
A couple other schools do it.
No one. Every HBCU in the nation does it.
Okay.
As well.
No one has the same lyrics
Nobody
as
says
LSU.
That. I just found out.
Well, that's okay, that's their lyric.
That's disgusting, by the way.
What, LSU's lyric?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, the opponent's doing it. That's
oh, well, I mean. Well, never mind. That makes it okay.
So the fight song is not going to impact either your guys' assessment of today's game. We have, the line has moved from Texas Tech plus 2.5. It's gone down to 1.5, getting closer and closer to an essential pick-em in this game. What's your read on the 2026 Capital One Orange Bowl, Oregon, Texas Tech?
I've seen some blowouts at this game in years past. I believe it was 3 years ago when Florida State quit on their season because of the whole Jordan Travis 14 playoff incident in Georgia.
That was here.
Yeah, Georgia curb stomped them. I was here for that one. I was here for Tennessee I forget who they were playing because that was also shellacking. I like Texas Tech to blow them out. This one matters, obviously, a lot more. Last year we had a semifinal game here, and it meant a lot. This one matters a lot more. Give me Texas Tech to win substantially, though. Like, I don't think they're going to sweat in the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
Like, it could be the score could be a 9 or 10-point game, but I don't think Tech sweats in the fourth quarter. I think that they close it out more comfortably than even Miami did against Ohio State.
Okay, Colin, you?
I agree with you from the sense that I don't think Texas Tech is going to sweat too much. I think this will be the type of game where Texas Tech gets out to an early lead and it's sort of come from behind on Oregon. I think this is going to be a game of field goals. I think this will be a game of a couple points. I think there's going to be like a 19-16 game in favor of Texas Tech. I think you're going to walk away from this game thinking, all right, Miami's defense is national title good. I think you're going to walk away from this thinking Texas Tech's defense is national championship
100%.
good. So I think they've been quietly very dominant. And I don't know how I feel about them in a close game, but I do think that defense is going to show up regardless of what happens. So that's the thing I'm going to bank on. I'm going to bank on Texas Tech's defense to show up, and I'm going to bank on them winning this game 19-16.
Like 19-16. Whew.
Yeah.
I didn't even get
such
to
a
that.
specific score. Yeah, like you're really that might be scoreagami.
A lot of field.
Something I hate when it's 24-21 or
yeah, your predictions.
Don't like. I like that.
I hate that.
Oh, I
score
love
prediction.
football.
No, you're talking about predictions.
Score predictions.
Oh.
Like when somebody predicts, like
no, I'm saying
you prefer them to be
28-21.
No, I like when I don't have an interest. I don't care if the score is 24-21. I don't like when people make a prediction.
Yes.
And there's like this prediction cards and you have it from
real
everybody.
safe.
You know when they do it for game day?
Yeah.
And you got like Mark Ingram's score, like Urban Meyer's score, and it's like 21-17.
Yeah,
like
it's
we haven't
like-
seen that score before. Like dude,
It's like, yeah.
have a little faith that this is going to be 34-28.
Yeah,
like,
make
you
it
know what I
unique.
mean?
Yeah, get cute with it.
No, it's a prediction. You're trying to predict it.
Yeah, I don't like
so
that.
if you rely
I
on
agree with
3
Colin here.
safeties, and,
I don't like that. Yeah, come on.
and
If
a
you're gonna predict
return
something,
2-point conversion.
show some guts.
Yeah,
All right, show some guts. Show some guts.
Like I agree with you in terms of showing some guts in terms of putting your chest behind an upset. But you saw a couple people put their neck on the line for Miami last night.
Yeah. I got a weird one. So when I was at ESPN Madison, if you follow ESPN Milwaukee, which is one of our sister stations here at Car and Brent, they post a Packers score prediction card every Sunday for the Packer game. And they do about 12, 15 people, on-air talent. Evan Cohen, who's a former ESPN West Palm post, is for some reason asked as well. I used to be asked for this. And it was my senior year when I was doing on-air for ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. And I would always predict the Packers to lose because everybody else is a homer Packer fan.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
They're
So
insulated.
I had to be that. You know, they never heard an animosity in their life when they're talking about anti-sports teams.
Yeah.
And I remember they stopped asking me to give score predictions after I said the Chargers would beat the Packers 37-7.
Oh, why would that? Is actually what are you doing? Did they actually put it on the card?
They sure did.
That's nice.
And they never asked me again.
That is a good way to get out of it, though. It's like to ruin everybody's experience with it.
I thought that's great. That's what a score prediction's about.
It is. That's a gutsy score prediction. Also, you're being a jerk. Did you mean it? Did you really feel
I
it?
meant it. I went to the game, too, and it was a good game. It was close.
So you were wrong.
Yeah.
So back
Terrible
here
example.
with Texas Tech, Oregon at the Capital One Orange Bowl. I actually have a Capital One card for the first time when attending the Capital One Orange Bowl.
You could have got VIP at the show.
I saw.
Yeah.
And I got here so early, and you were on stage so early that VIP didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything.
It's like I was the second fan.
Yeah.
who would get in front of the first fan.
Yeah. Well, also you get 10% off of anything you buy here, official concessions and things with your Capital One card.
Okay, that's good to know.
I didn't mean to just give them a plug here.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You have Capital One card?
I don't.
Oh.
I got miles and.
Do you?
No.
Well, there goes us derailing.
Is there a bank down the street that I can apply for a credit card?
I think
in the
it
next
evens
10
it out.
minutes?
I think whatever free pub we just gave
we
them,
just
we canceled it out, and we're not owing or being owed anything.
Yeah, we fixed it.
I got Tech winning the game 30-21, and I don't think it's as close as the final score indicates. I think that Tech at one point leads by 3 possessions in this game, and eventually Oregon fights back, when the defense loosens up a little bit and is playing to avoid the home run ball, so they mount that drive on the hurry-out offense. I think Tech wins this game handily. I think Oregon doesn't quite have the firepower.
Really quickly, do we think that Texas Tech is national title good?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think Texas Tech, Miami, Indiana.
Georgia, Ole Miss?
I think just Texas Tech, Miami, Indiana. I
think
don't
I
think
agree with
Georgia
you.
or Ole Miss, yeah. I can't.
No more SEC. We're done with the SEC.
It's cooked.
That's according to Theo Dorsey and Christian
It's over
Katt.
with.
As we close things out here and send you off into kickoff, Oregon, Texas Tech at the 2026 Capital One Orange Bowl. Coming up after this, you also got the Rose Bowl, you got the Sugar Bowl. Enjoy that day of college football. Enjoy the first day of 2026. Appreciate everybody sticking along with us. If you missed any of this, go watch it back on ESPN South Florida. Go download our app, ESPN South Florida app, which is available on the App Store today. The national anthem just finished up. Time to close things out. Enjoy the football game. This has been Colin Russo, Theo Dorsey, and Christian Katt on the Capital One Orange Bowl pregame show. We'll see you next time right here on ESPN West Palm.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $840.